Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Friday, July 6th, 2012. Combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. Great television archives up top. Our eye candy feature below. Got a good one again for the weekend. And of course, our rock and roll poll question over in the corner. What do you think of Larry Rice? So a couple of days ago, he was shuttling homeless people from down in the city out to the Galleria and running them around and said they were going to look for jobs and stuff like that. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, I don't know. But he was trying to raise awareness for the homeless issue in the city of St. Louis, as he frequently is. Our question, what do you think of this move to take the people over to the Galleria? And number one answer at 46% of you, this is just more nonsense from Larry Rice, a self-absorbed publicity hound. Sorry, Lair. I've told this story before. I was going down Highway 40. This is about 12, 15 years ago. I'm going on Highway 40 on a Saturday morning, and I'm coming up on a car, and I can see it's got crap all over the car. And then I realize it's bumper stickers. There's bumper stickers all over the car, and as I get closer and closer, I see it's Larry Rice for mayor bumper stickers all over the car. And I get closer and closer. I mean, the car is covered, and I mean covered with Larry Rice for mayor bumper stickers. And as I get closer and closer, I get up next to him, I look inside, it's Larry Rice. So, the whole self-absorbed publicity hound stuff seems to, have some validity. Number two answer, I'm sympathetic to the issue of homelessness, but I'm not sure this will do any good. That's at 35%. Only 16% of you said, great idea. All right, we're in the midst of one of the worst heat waves in the history of St. Louis. So what best describes your feelings about the current heat wave? The whole issue of global warming, by the way, is a terrible name. I've said this before. It should have been called climate change from the very beginning, because then every time it gets cold out, all the dopes at the gas station next to you, they're, hey, you see the 8 inches of snow, it's 40 below, and how about your global warming? And it's like, should have always been climate change. Anyhow, what best describes your feelings about the current heat wave? A, I'm a believer in climate change, and this is one of the best illustrations that it's real. B, I'm not sure about the validity of climate change, but this certainly has my attention. C, this is all part of a normal cycle. It happened before, it'll happen again. Or D, the government is controlling the weather. Please answer down in the corner. We'll have results for you next week. This is how weird things get sometimes. I sent out on Facebook, and again, you can see me on Facebook, you can follow me on Facebook at the Showgram with JC Corcoran. So Andy Griffith dies the other day, and I sort of tell my little Andy Griffith story, which is, by the way, that he wasn't always the nicest guy. There are terrific stories that you hear from Andy Griffith on the set, barking at people and really sort of being mean to people who were working on his TV show, movies, stuff like that. And in fact, in the late 80s, I was doing an interview with Andy Griffith, and I witnessed this, and he was being really snotty to the support people who were around him in the camera room. And I thought to myself, wow. And I hadn't heard this about Andy Griffith prior to that. And then I started asking questions, and people were like, oh yeah, he's sort of a prick. It was like, oh, see, I never knew that. So I sent this out on Facebook the other day. Hey, I really believe that regardless of what Seinfeld fans might say, or other people who like other situation comedies, it is my belief that the Andy Griffith Show was the best situation comedy of all time. This is what I say. And then I mentioned the thing about, it's too bad too, because Andy Griffith had a reputation for not always being the nicest guys. And I started getting email and snotty Facebook responses back on this. People attacking me, just saying the snottiest, meanest, creepiest things you could ever imagine. This over hot dog eating contests over the 4th of July. Why are the anchor people smiling when they read the stories? This is a gross, disgusting, vile activity which sends, really awful messages to our friends abroad about how we view food. By the way, is my camera moving? I think it is. Can you just hold on 1 second there? Yeah. I think I need more tape. So anyhow, and then Busch Stadium's selling this giant, look at that 2-foot long hot dog. Is that really, and why are the anchor people smiling when they read those stories? Why aren't they just going like, ew? Because that's really what I think most people are thinking when they're watching this. Okay, it might be overwritten, it might be over-idealized, it might be overly liberal, but it's still great, and I am totally hooked on this new Aaron Sorkin thing on HBO, The Newsroom. It is fantastic. Can't wait to see what happens next. First 2 episodes I've watched now, and this is getting really, really interesting. It's only getting interesting that my camera is moving again. I need more tape. Hold on. Can you just I'll settle this. I'll work. Oh, hey, earthquake. Ivan Browning. I'll settle this over the weekend. This won't happen next week. What else we got here? Anderson Cooper comes out of the closet. Shep, over at Fox News. It's your turn, buddy. Stephen Stills, along with Graham Nash and David Crosby, will be in town on August 8th here in St. Louis. Stephen Stills says Crosby, Stills, and Nash will not make another album. All right, how about this story? A deadbeat dad who owed more than $32,000 in child support to his ex-wife and daughter fled from Pennsylvania to Hawaii to avoid having to pay. So they hire a bounty hunter, and the bounty hunter manages to lure the guy back to the States by posing as a movie producer and offering him a role in a Jennifer Aniston movie. And this dope flies in from Hawaii, lands, and they arrest him at the airport and sock him for the $32,000. I love stories like that. Half of all men say they have not used sunscreen in the last 12 months. Here we go. The U.S. private sector, and you're always hearing about the private sector, the United States private sector. The U.S. private sector added 176,000 jobs in June. That was above what the forecasters had said. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, that's not 176,000. 175,999. I forgot about Ann Curry. Is my camera leaning now? I think it is. I think it's like, it's so hot out. Hold on, I'm going to try and move this. Now we're going up here. Okay. All right. I'm going to work on this over the weekend. We're going to take care of this. It's so humid out that the tape is giving way. Oh, man. Professional operation here. All right, what do we got here? For those of you who care about stuff like this, 21 days until the Olympics, 56 days until the Labor Day weekend, and 111 days until the World Series. Howie Mandel is having a 4th of July party a couple of days ago, and he calls 911 because he thinks that there is a sexual assault going on in his bathroom. So 911, the people show up, the cops show up, and they find out it's a consensual grind fest, boys and girls. And Howie is a big germaphobe, so you got to wonder whether these people will ever be invited back to the Mandel palatial mansion. Jerry Seinfeld, new web series called Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. You'll see Larry David, Ricky Gervais, Alec Baldwin, Colin Quinn, Michael Richards, to name a few. It debuts July 19th on Crackle.com. Seth Meyers, it is being said, is the front runner to be Kelly Ripa's permanent co-host on Live. Never saw that coming, by the way. If he is chosen, he is expected to remain at Saturday Night Live hosting Weekend Update, but he would probably have to resign as the head writer. Supposedly, NFL star former NFL star Michael Strahan and singer Josh Groban are also among the finalists. I'm so wigged out here by this camera, which is continuing to tilt. Rob Schneider not only was pretty lame on Saturday Night Live, okay, he did the copy guy, I'll give him that, went on to make and continues to make some of the worst movies ever in the history of cinema. And somehow people keep hiring him to make these awful movies. And I think they do it because he knows Adam Sandler, and Adam Sandler is so powerful in Hollywood, and maybe they think if they give his buddy a movie, maybe Adam Sandler will work with this guy eventually, this director, I don't know. So now we find out that Rob Schneider is also one of these anti-vaccination kooks. And if you look around on the internet, there's this 12-minute long diatribe that he delivers about how awful vaccinations are. Thinks the government is out to get all of us. Cars.com just released a list of the most American cars of the year. The most American cars of the year. Number one car, Toyota Camry. That's right, they're assembled here in the United States, have huge U.S. sales, so they finished first. Ford F-150 finished second. All right. Just mentioned the Olympics a couple of days. We got a couple of days. What is it, 11 days? Hold on here. I just said it, and I've already forgotten it. Whatever I said, okay? The Olympics are coming up, and that's in London, and David Letterman believes that there will be a distinctly British feel to the opening ceremony, and so that's our eye candy feature, and it's right below what you're looking at right now, and it's pretty funny. So check that out. We're also available to you on Facebook. just go to the Showgram with JC Corcoran, the Showgram with JC Corcoran, and you can friend me there and then keep up on things. We put stuff out all the time on Facebook, also on Twitter at STLJC Corcoran. And of course, we are updating the Daily Dose on Mondays and Fridays, generally speaking, right here, complete with our crooked camera. And I'll have this fixed by Monday. All right. Again, what best describes your feelings about the current heat wave? Do you think it's a lot of baloney, the issue of climate change, or are you a believer? Please answer down in the corner. We'll have results for you next week. In the meantime, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Friday, July 6th, 2012. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.